Hey everyone, and welcome to another video with myself, Microbox of X. I must start by apologising for the lack of content the last couple of weeks. It's been quite busy at work, and I've had a lot going on at home as well. My grandfather been in a hospital, and I've been sort of trying to decorate and sort out his bungalow before he comes out of hospital this week. So, been extremely busy and haven't unfortunately had the time for the channel, which is a shame because there's a lot going on. But hopefully I can talk about a few of those things today in the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'm only a couple of subscribers from 700. It'd be fantastic to hit 700 subs. And, please like and leave comments down below on the video as well. I always appreciate it, and I always try and sort of reply to every comment, good and bad. I will always try. But yeah, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the one thing all week, but the second one is quite fresh. The first thing I want to talk about is the Cyberpunk 2077 delay. A lot of upset people out there, and I must admit I was quite gutted that the fact that the game's been sort of postponed again. But we have to understand the sort of development that goes into these games and how much effort, and these guys rely on this. This is their bread and butter, and they want to get it right. And a company like CD Projekt pride themselves on the quality of the products that they put out. The Witcher 3 was fantastic. The Cyberpunk 2077 has been in production for about 7 years. This is a game that they've poured a lot of effort and time and money into, and they want to get it right. And you could only applaud a company that decides to sort of delay a game, albeit only for a few weeks this time. But they want to get this game right for us, because not only does it reflect on them, we'd be well pissed off if we got a game that had bugs in it and had some real issues that they knew that they could sort out beforehand. How many times have we complained about games that we've waited so long for to come out, and they've been almost unplayable? I suppose you could bring up the Master Chief Collection as a big prime example of that game. It was something that everybody was excited for, but there were major issues when that game came out, and even months and months into its launch, it still wasn't the perfect package. It is now. It's an amazing package. I've been playing a lot of it recently, but it wasn't to start off with. And if they'd have delayed that and got that work done, mind you saying that, the amount of problems that game had, it would probably been another 6 months before we saw release. But at the end of the day, we don't want buggy games, and games of Cyberpunk's sort of vastness. They're huge open world games. I'm sure there's still going to be the odd bug that sneaks through. I can guarantee it. When you look at games by Bethesda, when you look at how big Skyrim was, and even now there's still bugs that you can come across in that game because they're so big. It's almost impossible to test everything because what you do in the game is down to you and your decision. And things like that aren't such a big issue with sort of story-driven games where you're sort of on rails, basically just following a storyline. They have a better chance of ironing out those bugs in games like that. But with games like Cyberpunk, it's very difficult to do so. So I can only applaud them for doing it. The fact that some people are losing their minds and sending death threats to them and saying they're going to cancel their pre-orders, etc. It's just ridiculous, and they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. If they brought the game out now and it did have some bugs in it, people would send them death threats and hate and everything for that, and then they delay it to do the work and they get more shit. Gaming has become a very bizarre hobby for some people, and I think they take it a little bit too seriously. Gaming is an entertainment. It's an entertainment history. It's not life and death. And I'd rather that they delayed these games and put more time into them to make sure that they come out pucker, and that's what we want. To be honest, for me it was a bit of a relief because it was coming out literally a week after the Series X drops and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I was, as much as I want to play Valhalla, I know I'd get so far into it, Cyberpunk would come out, and I'd drop Valhalla to go and play Cyberpunk. So it's a bit of a relief for me because it's going to give me another few weeks to get into Assassin's Creed. I haven't even picked up Watch Dogs yet. That'll probably be something I pick up after Christmas, to be honest. there's just too many games. People complaining about launch titles and that. There's more than enough games to keep me occupied, and my biggest issue at the moment is the time to play them. And with the new consoles, it's going to get even worse. And you know, moving on to the next consoles, this is certainly in England now. This is a problem. I mean, what are we now? 10 days, 10 days from launch, and we've had an announcement yesterday in England that 5 days before the Series X drops, we're going to be going into another lockdown for 4 weeks, for a month. And you know, how is this going to affect the launch of the Series X in England? I do wonder. I mean, they're still doing the click and collects and things like that, and they're saying all that will still be in place. But you know, I know from experience that during the last lockdown, Amazon weren't delivering anything with any kind of speed. They were investing all their time into what they called essential deliveries, and everything that you ordered from them, even if you had Prime delivery, was taking about a week to arrive. So, you know, I do question how this is going to affect the Series X launch, certainly through, you know, Amazon. For me personally, you know, we're still going to get them on launch day. And then all of these other stores that have got to close, will they be able to do a click and collect for launch? You know, I do question how much this is going to affect the sort of launch of this console in England. I think maybe they left this a little bit too late. I think we should have been doing this at the same time that Wales did theirs. But they only went in for a 2 week sort of fire break. We're doing 4 weeks, and it could go on longer. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a difficult time. This COVID 2020's been an absolute dumpster truck, hasn't it? I mean, I hope to God that it doesn't affect everything too much. I think you know, gaming has been one of those hobbies that's really kept people sort of on the rails, as it were, during this whole COVID thing, and it's helped massively for a lot of people. And I know for a fact that if I don't get my console, I'm going to be a bit devastated, I have to say. And I'm sure a lot of people out there will be as well. And there's many people that didn't even get a pre-order down. So, you know, it is a tricky time, and yeah, you know, and it's not just going to affect Xbox obviously either. You've got the PlayStation 5, you know, released a few weeks later. This is going to be going on till, I think it's like the 2nd of December. Was it the 2nd of December? I can't remember the exact date now, but I can see it being affected. I hope it isn't, but you know, certainly by going from my experience with Amazon during the last lockdown, deliveries were an issue. Certainly the speed of which deliveries were coming through, they were prioritising the essential items, or what they classed as essential items, and it did affect dates, even with your Prime membership. So I'm hoping, I'm keeping my fingers crossed it doesn't affect it, but I'd be amazed if Amazon don't use this as some way of slowing down the deliveries, because I know they've had issues with stock. I know emails have gone out to Amazon.com customers saying that you may not even get your console on the date already, even before all this come through. You know, and it's certainly in America, and there was going to be issues with stock and whether they were going to get them to you on time. So now that this is happening in sort of England, essential stores non-essential stores having to close. So in sort of the UK, there's games like stores like Game will be having to close. Couriers, you know, whether they'll still be able to wangle it and do this click and collect service is another matter. But you know, for companies like Amazon and places like that, you know, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There's no emails. I've been checking my emails since the announcement, and nothing's come through yet. So we'll keep an eye on it. But fingers crossed. I mean, you know, does the question need to be asked? Does Microsoft need to bring the launch forward a little bit just to get it out before the lockdown? That would be nice. We could all sigh a breath of relief then, couldn't we? But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today. So as I said at the start, please like the video, leave a comment down below. If you haven't done already, please subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. and you know, with a 4-week lockdown coming into place, maybe I'll have more time to do more videos, because I certainly won't be able to, unfortunately, visit the bungalow and my grandfather's bungalow and do any more work there, because I won't be allowed in. So there you go. But anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care of yourselves, look after yourselves, and keep safe. Bye bye.